No, it's a bomb.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you a video regarding Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What's the deal with this game at the moment? Why is it only being released on December the 9th and not January the 9th in 2025? Well, according to John F. Trent at Fandom Pulse, by the way, I do hate egregious practices like this, where they give you half the article, but if you want to read the rest of the story, you've got to pay up a fee of £4.99 a month. Well, listen, I've got a lot of respect for John F. Trent, but I do hate these kind of practices. So basically, folks, I can give you just a bare minimum, just like in Office Space, regarding the pre-order retail data that has come out for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Now, the thing I hate with these type of posts as well, where are they getting these actual figures from? Who are the pre-retail stores in question? Is it GameStop? Is it anything else like a game store in the UK? So again, I don't like that. So what I give to you here, folks, probably treat it with a pinch of salt at this stage. There might be some truth in it, and I'm going to get into as to why. But the headline itself, 86% worse pre-orders than Dragonfale, the Age Guard. Yes, I am saying that on purpose because, again, that particular video game, well, we know the fate of that already. It's absolutely hysterical. But let's get on with Herr Jones and company and let's see what this is all about.
3, 2, 1, go!
Eat lightning and shit thunder with Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Rated R. Starts Friday, June 22nd at theaters everywhere.
It's more fun than working with two really hot twins. No.
Now, are we excited for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? No, it's a great title, but that's about it, really. I'm going to get into some things that I've seen this morning regarding other content creators out there and their initial reactions to this game, the 2-hour playthrough some had when they were flown out to Los Angeles by Bethesda Studios. Interestingly, that Aqua Boy who gave his review of the 2 hours he played is interesting because he basically said that like the environments are fantastic, they're breathtaking to look at, but the puzzle solving element of this game, even a 5-year-old could solve in about 3 minutes. It's ridiculous. One involving a fish, a bird, and a snake, I think it is. And basically you just have to assemble these 3 circled animals in terms of which one is furthest away from the earth of the ground. It's rather ridiculous, but apparently, according to Bethesda, this is a great puzzle-solving game that makes you feel like Indiana Jones. No, it doesn't. And when you take titles like the Staff of Kings and the Emperor's Tomb, of which I'm going to feature some footage of and even look back on, it makes you wonder why Machine Games, the people who are working on this Indiana Jones title, think this was a great idea to make our titular hero a first-person entity when he should be a third-person dude like Nathan Drake from Uncharted, and gets him involved in all sorts of scrapes and scraps. So this was released 10 months ago. 10 months ago, the behind-the-scenes interviews with Team Bethesda about why they really do enjoy the Indiana Jones franchise, forgetting the fact that George Lucas made that character as a homage to James Bond, because Steven Spielberg always wanted to direct a James Bond movie. He wasn't given the keys to the kingdom to do that. And when you consider Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom had Harrison Ford wearing a tuxedo, that's a very obvious nod to James Bond.
No, you've insulted me.
But let's go back to this obvious nod here, folks, for a bit of self-insertion. What do you mean, Jace? You're about to find out.
He's a charismatic everyman. He's passionate and determined. And for us, he's synonymous with adventure.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story
for a modern gaming audience.
Now, if you take this gentleman right here, Edward Curtis Stevens, or Svens, whatever his name is, if you move him to the left, just a little bit to the left, and you take the female hero from the Great Circle and put it next to him, what do you see? It's a self-insert. They're taking a female character based on a biological Italian female actress, and they've used Edward's likeness and hairstyle to look like her. She looks absolutely ghastly in the gameplay footage I have seen. You put her up against Indiana Jones and you can't even tell which one is meant to be a man or a woman. It is such bad game principle design, it really is. And that bothers me when you know now what video games are like and how they're pushing a very strange ideology and getting that thing out there that is more than one gender, folks. You can't have it any other way. It's the same kind of resistance that J.K. Rowling is facing at the moment with the HBO Harry Potter show, which I guarantee will be an absolute massive hit straight from the horse's stables. Because if they stick fundamentally, I mean, again, I think we might be getting a Black Hermione Granger for some bizarre reason. I mean, we had that on the stage play version, didn't we? So it might possibly find its way into the TV show version as well. Again, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I know millions of people out there are, and good for you. I'm more of a Lord of the Rings kind of guy. That's more my shtick. And here we have Mojo's top 10 Indiana Jones games. Obviously, I'm not going through the whole video. I want to focus on this one specifically, which is the Staff of Kings.
Development instead shifted to the PS2.
And the game design is really good. Third person Indy, right? And here's one thing I want to mention, okay? They all talk about, oh, Troy Baker's Harrison Ford impression is amazing. Do you buy a video game to hear a voice actor doing an impression of a Hollywood actor when he could probably hire the Hollywood actor to be in the game instead of somebody doing an impression of him or her? That makes no sense. When I bought the original Uncharted games, it was because I loved Nolan North's delivery. Very deadpan, very John McClane from Die Hard. He wasn't trying to do an impersonation of H. Ford, was he? So that for me was why I loved those games so much, because I liked his wise-cracking banter with the villains, with Sully, with Elena, and with the bad guys he was actually killing off at one stage, which is always a constant in those games.
Is that it? Is that my deal? Die now, or help you, and die later. Oh, it's a tough call, but you know what? I'll take die now.
But why would I be interested in buying this particular game, the Great Circle, when I can sit back and watch the cutscenes from Gamers Playground and I've saved myself, what, 54 UK pounds? And by the way, this Staff of Kings stuff I'm reacting to at the moment obviously inspired Uncharted Drake's Fortune in 2006, which is good. It's a good nod.
Trouble, and even team up with Henry Jones Sr. in a console-exclusive co-op mode. Unfortunately, even despite the best of intentions, the Wiimote motion controls
again Uncharted Drake's Fortune,
most popular console, making the PS2 version with its superior graphics and interactive environments the best way to take down the Nazis in Indy's last video game adventure.
Oh, look at that. Gorgeous female red hair design. She actually looks like a female. Before you think, oh, Jason, she's got short hair as well, we'll have a look. See, she's got a ponytail. And oh my gosh, Indiana embraces her. Do you think we're going to get that in the Great Circle? Nope, I don't think so. I think that's going to be something they move away from. You can't have a romanticized white dude being the hero and embracing the woman. That you can't have that. You just cannot. So let's have a bit more of a playthrough of that.
A little late for that, don't you think?
See, and the voice actor there is doing a light impression of Harrison Ford. Again, you kind of got to get away from the fact that whoever's done it on film, don't try to emulate them, just do your own thing in a video game. That to me makes way much more sense. But December the 9th, folks, of this year, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is being released to maybe no fanfare at all. Now take a look at this gameplay footage from that Aquaboys channel. These are 2006 gaming graphics for a modern day audience in 2024. Honestly, would you pay top dollar for this? It just looks pretty awful, very janky. I mean, look, if I want to play an Indiana Jones game from the 2000s, I'll go back to the Staff of the Kings or the Emperor's Tomb. Those would be my go-to choices. So on the Steam DB charts, folks, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is only nesting at 27 on the wish lists. So it's not really high up there. It's not in the top 10 or maybe 5, where you can think to yourself, everybody is anticipating this game to be an absolute banger. So going back to John F. Trent's initial report, which at this stage I might just say is all whoop-de-doo hyperbole. There's no real proof that these pre-order sales are actually true. And I'm saying that as somebody who's not even really remotely excited for this game. It could all be true, these figures, but I wish there was a bit more concrete evidence. Instead of paywalling it behind a barrier, folks. I mean, I hate all of it. It's an egregious practice. I can't stand it. So, you know, because I'm a guy who's got subscriptions for Netflix, for Amazon, and paying bills, right? I can't afford to pay for the upkeep of a journalist who does good work, but then they paywall their articles just like Forbes does. And who's the other publisher? Bloomberg, because Jason Schreier, oh yeah, that man's got to get his greedy little mittens on money as well, doesn't he? But I think when this game is released, it's going to get fairly okay reviews. It'll probably score a 7.5 out of 10 from IGN, because that's the running meme of this year, folks, and maybe the year before that. And it remains to be seen exactly if this game will be a failure. It won't be. It'll just do well. Again, if you're measuring the yardstick against Star Wars Outlaws and Dragon Failed the Age God, the future might not be so bright, and maybe Indiana Jones and the team behind him will have to wear shades and move on. But somebody else who's not moving on, but he's making another video straight after this one, is yours truly. So if you were me and if I were you, maybe, just maybe, you should return for the next video.
Tune in next time, Space Freaks, and hear your doobry go ping in the next gripping installment of
Kung Fu Hot Dog.